back
Welcome back.
to another episode of
Let we go there.
and today we go in there on
Aging, specifically for women.
mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, happy birthday!
It's my birthday at the time we're recording this, and it's gonna be your birthday on the day it's posted. So happy birthday to you
Thank
as
you.
well.
Yeah, today is an interesting special day for our family because as we are filming this, it's Good Friday. And I actually was born on Good Friday. And Chance, our son, was born on Good Friday. And today is Good Friday and it's your birthday. Like, how do
Ah!
we do that?
Yeah, some special Aries magic.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I just felt like this is such an appropriate thing to talk about as we are aging. When you woke up today, how did you feel now that you are in your 30s plural?
I feel freaking fantastic in my body, in my mind, and in my soul because I get to wake up to this gorgeous being and our son, Chansey, who's a cat, if you're not familiar with our family.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember when I was 29, a friend of mine was like, "Oh, when you reach 30, you're just gonna wake up with backache." And I was like, almost like scared, like, last year. And I was fine. And this year, I feel even better. I woke up, I did my morning Pilates, I did 31 push ups in celebration straight of being 31 today. And I feel great because I take care of my body, I take care of my mind, and I have the best support system and the best person as a partner. And yeah, I just feel really grateful for that. So that's how I felt when I woke up this morning. How do you feel approaching the 4-2?
Ooh, yeah, I know. So today, as this is you're seeing this, I am officially 42, which is wild. I definitely feel a lot of times like I'm still 13, or I'm still like you flip it and I'm 24. Yeah, aging is really interesting. I feel like the older I get, the more comfortable I am about most things. And that's what's really cool. Like, I was thinking about that today, how in my teens, my 20s, and even most of my 30s, I wouldn't even think to leave the house to go to the store without having makeup on. And here I
Oh,
am in front of the camera, not a
yeah.
stitch of makeup on, hair a hot mess just blowing in the wind. And I feel free about it. I don't really care about it. I'm not having the kind of anxieties I had to be a certain kind of woman,
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like the pressure for women is there, is like to always be looking our best and
Mm-hmm.
not have anything out of place. And again, that kind of like whole perfectionist thing. And a lot of times it's like, for who? It's like,
For
is it,
who? For the man?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do feel with aging comes so many really cool things. Instead of focusing on all of the aches and the pains, if you will. I am someone that has aches and pains, just because of what I have, like with my back and everything like that. But I feel through the aging process, I've gained so much more experience and knowing exactly what is good for my body, what
Yeah.
stretches to do, and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
that I actually have a lot less pain when I wake up in the morning than I did probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, because I mean, unlike myself, who has been blessed to not have any injuries or innate
Like
things going
chronic
on in
kind of
my
things,
body,
yeah.
like you've been going through the ringer with that for a while, and you found
Mm-hmm.
your techniques to basically like override
To
that.
be like drug free with it, thankfully, like no pain medications, anything like that. It's just knowing again is like how to manipulate and move my body in a way that feels good. I also feel like with aging comes wisdom, comes like experiences, things that we learn from. So my mind is just ever expanding. So it's like, even though when I was in my 20s I thought I knew everything. Now that I'm in my 40s, I've accepted I don't know shit, and I am good with that. Like I am like so excited to learn.
Hmm.
It's like I'm a student of life at this point.
Yeah, I feel like you have certain things, if you continue to have that growth mindset, you just get better. Otherwise, like, you need to maintain your body and you need to maintain your mind. Because some people in their 30s, when they sit down on a couch, they're like, oh, all the aches and the pains. And like, don't get me wrong, my knees have been cracking since I've been 12 years old. And I feel like some people use that as a limiter to be like, oh, well, this already is like, hurting or is making noise. I need to like baby it. No, you actually need to move more, and you need to also like have your brain going more, do those puzzles, do those things that challenge you. Fun facts, something people most likely don't know. One of the benefits of doing pole, or any sort of activities that has grip strength is directly related to your health, the health of your brain. So like that helps with like dementia and stuff like that. So the better your grip strength is, like the more overall like healthy your brain is. So yeah, because like a lot of the muscles for like your forearm and stuff, it's directly connected to your brain. It helps with like reaction times and all those cool things. So yeah, keep always trying new things, keep being a kid, because I think that's what it is at the end of the day, to help you age gracefully as possible. And I'm not talking about like what you look like on the outside, I mean like how you feel on the inside. And of course, looking good on the outside is just a factor of that. It's just something that comes naturally as you have that mindset.
Yeah, it's a reflection. What you have going on the outside typically is going to reflect what's going on the inside. And what I feel like is really cool, and I mean, for me at 16 years old, I worked at a nursing home with Alzheimer's patients. So with everybody was, well into their old age. And one of the things, I was an activities assistant. So I
Mm.
literally got paid to play games with them. And what I love about it is, one, I've always gravitated towards people that are older because I want to hear their stories. They have so much life experience, and I just like love hearing all of these like wild tales from different periods of life and everything like that. And then it's like, it's that kind of thing where, especially as a woman, I feel like we talked about this, you and I talked about this recently, where, you know, girls, women, like from the time that you just start developing, sometimes not even, because men are disgusting, we get catcalled, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like a lot of times that can play a psychological factor with women as they age, because once we do hit 40s, 50s, 60s, we tend to be not as desirable and not more invisible. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, baby, let me be invisible to the man. I don't care. Because it's like, then you're able to be more free. So that's the part of aging that I'm actually seeing in a positive light, that I feel like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women are so fearful. And that's where, and it's no judgment on this, but that's where all the fillers, the Botox, the plastic surgery, the makeup, and all of that, it's like just to kind of keep up with where we were at. But guess what? Like, we have this incredible thing. If we get to age, it's a gift, as
Yeah.
we've been seeing with, a lot of people passing away very, very young. So it's like every time I have a birthday, I am just so incredibly grateful to have taken another trip around the sun, to be here by you, however
Hmm.
long I get to be here for. Yeah. And again, it's like another opportunity to learn things about the world and about myself.
Yeah, and if you are someone struggling with the way that you look, especially as you get older, and I feel like this applies to men. Sorry, women. Like men don't really give a shit
Men
because
get
they're
to go
not.
outside with their faces just looking like their faces. They don't put anything over it, and it's been acceptable whether they're 5 years old or 90 years old. Like, men never have to put anything to be accepted. I just have to throw that out there because that's
Yeah,
mind boggling to me.
but also remember the world that we live in, the beauty industry and everything. It was built off of pedophilia, like the people who are being exposed now and all of the gross things that they do. They want women to be
Like
hairless.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, they want women to be hairless. They want them to look as baby as possible. So that's where you get all those age defying creams and all these things that just feeds into their sick fantasy. And the best way to rebel against that is to just accept yourself for who you are and focus on being healthy instead of trying to give them more money through all of the the millions and billions of products that are available on the market. Like, take back your power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
healthy and happy. I mean, it's if you feel happy inside, you're going to radiate that, and that is beautiful. Like that is what beauty is, you know, like
Mhm.
they say it's, you know, it's inside and it comes out. So it's not really the other way around. But I do understand because of the pressures that we do face from such a young age, to live up to these ridiculous standards.
Yeah. And like, if you are struggling as well with it, like, talk to people. Like, like, I'm sure everyone has these fears at some point in their life. And I think the more we talk about anything, just like we do on this podcast, you are able to just kind of like find some solidarity amongst women. We need that more than ever in these times. Like, stop giving your power away. I just don't know how many times I could say it, but like, I truly do believe it. Like, stop doing things to appeal to men and just do whatever appeals to you. That's
And
what's gonna
stop
make
being
you.
competitive and catty amongst other women too, because you know that is a thing I would say, like from what I remember in my 20s and everything like that, is like a lot of times it wasn't necessarily dressing up for whatever boyfriend I had, because they actually could care less, like if I was just like in sweats and no makeup and whatever. But it's more like the other women, because women judge each other, you know, and that is a fact. Like that is something that i
Yeah.
i can't say is not true, because it is. Be like, oh my god, look at her, she left like that. It's like, how about as women, we just, you know, are there for each other, and, you know, complimenting a woman, like that goes a long way. You see
Yeah.
something on them, whatever, you know, or even better, rather than it being a physical thing, it's like their personality, anything like that. It's just like, be nice to each other, you
Yeah.
know?
Speaking on aging, women in their 30s and above, we really need to remember that we lose muscle mass that compounds over the years if we're not lifting, if we're not doing body weight resistance and these sort of things. So, as much as you do your squats and all of these things, like, hug a cat and do your squats like you do, or,
I do that, yeah. Gives me
you
that
know?
extra weight, that extra
Mm-hmm.
like 8 to 10 pounds, whatever it is.
Yeah, like, lift as much as you like, and just keep doing what you can to keep your body going, because it's the only one you've got in this lifetime.
Nice. So what's it like for you to date a older woman, someone who's in a different decade of life?
I love it because my siblings are around your age anyway. So, all of my life, I've had, I don't want to say issues, but I've just found it hard to connect to people. So, like, when they had
Like
their
that were your own
friends,
age, or
um, yeah, like my own
okay.
age. And maybe that's because I had older siblings anyway.
Mhm.
And I always felt like I needed to be more mature.
And because 80s babies are the best. But anyways, continue.
So, wait, what was the question?
Yeah, what it's like to be with somebody that is older than you know, in a
Right.
different decade, like has
Yeah.
experienced different. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So, just because, like, I have always liked, like, talking to people around their age as well, it just felt so natural to me. Like, when we met and you said you were 39, right?
39, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, like my sister's age, like, like around the same age. So it just, I immediately had that familiarity. I was like, oh yeah, I could probably relate to you more than I could relate to people my own age, because people my age, oh my god, people my age, especially here where I live and where I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, they're like still on the party scene, on the what we drinking this weekend, and that has just not been my vibe, which is why I had like two two friends for a really long time. So I am an old soul, and I just
You are.
felt like my old soul connected with your old soul, and I I love it. I love our dynamic. I love where I am able to have strengths. I love seeing where you are able to have strengths, be it like something innate or like because of our ages and stuff like that. I love hearing your stories, your nostalgic stories. Um, I feel like living in the Caribbean too, it took a while for technology to like reach us and like update. as
I
much.
mean, you're
So
watching Dawson's Creek right now for the first time. That's just magical.
yeah, because it's like I feel like people who are 31, I don't know, like in the States, if they would have also grown up with like Walkmans and stuff like that. But like, I knew what that technology was because, like, for maybe I had older siblings too, and like they held on to those things for longer. I put a floppy disk into the tower of a computer, the that part
Yeah.
of it. Like I have those memories too. So it's nice, and I love being a millennial that's just almost Gen Z. I love it, and you love being a geriatric
I
millennial.
do love being a geriatric millennial. We're like very cuspy that way where I'm not Gen X. I am still a millennial, but I'm just like hanging on by a thread. And yeah, I never felt the age thing be an issue at all. I was like, oh, thank God we just met now. When you were 28, 28, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, any younger, no. But it's not even that. It's like you definitely, your soul matches my soul, and it's very, very old, very wise. I definitely love like learning, what the kids say and like the
I,
that type of.
I can't even keep up anymore. I'm
But
like,
you're like, some of the stuff that the kid, and then there's
yeah,
like the kids, and then like the things that you do with absolute ease that I'm learning, technology wise is really awesome. And then it's like some of the things that I'm able to impart to you because I've been through that already.
yeah.
So I feel like it is very very perfectly well matched.
Yeah, like I love helping you with like presentations and stuff like that. This one's a life coach and a qigong instructor and a breathwork facilitator if y'all didn't know. So like book up for those events, those speaking events. She got you.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like I love doing all of those things. Like now you do the editing of the podcast, and it's just like, yeah, it's like a breeze
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
it's it's so cool because again, I love learning a new skill, and just the way that I learn is like obviously by doing, and you're a really great teacher. I feel like that's the thing is like us having that age difference, we both are able to take on that teacher student role
Mm-hmm.
so seamlessly and honestly without ego more than I've ever felt before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like maybe the age is a part of that, maybe it's not. It's just the magic of us, but I do think that that's really cool.
Yeah, I think so too. Eee.
Yay.
And like, I just love also staying connected to like my nibblings, I call them, my
Yeah.
nieces and nephews. Like,
Yeah.
just like trying my best to keep up with their language is almost too much, but like, it's
Shout out Jess
nice.
because she like keeps us like young with that
Yeah.
and informed.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I feel like another part of aging is just seeing the beauty of all the ages.
And knowing you can learn from all of them, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is equally important.
I think as people age, they may think like, oh well, what can I possibly learn from someone younger than me? But you can learn so much. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like taking yourself out of that. And again, I talked about it the last time, but it's like this weird middle age place to be is kind of like fun and interesting and exciting and honestly confusing. It's all of the things because you're not quite so young anymore, but you're not really old. And to some people, you're just a baby. And to some
Mm-hmm.
people, you're like an old lady. And it's like
Yeah.
this interesting place that if you don't take it to heart so much about like the negative things that you can hear about it and you just take it as like this really cool thing as like, man, I got to live through these times when things were much simpler,
Yeah.
things were much more fun. I got to do, and that's like, I wouldn't want to do it again now, like in the club, like those days. Like
In the
I'm
club.
so glad I had that experience when I did. Don't want to have it anymore. But and it's a lot too about like the times of now. Like I just feel like it was a really cool time to be doing all of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like on the topic of aging as a woman, we have to touch on like perimenopause and
Mm.
menopause. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking about that next, like health wise,
mm-hmm.
screenings. Apparently now it's well, I already have had breast examinations done. They now start at 40 for women, and if you have a history, which I have a history in my family. If you have dense breasts, also have that. Checking all these boxes. It is really important. Making sure you have a doctor and everything that you can go to that you feel comfortable getting these tests done. And then I think it's 45 is like colonoscopies. So woohoo, 3 more years for that fun stuff. But obviously it's not fun, but prevention is key.
Mm-hmm.
And as women, unfortunately, healthcare, it's got a long way to go still.
Yeah.
For the longest time it was like white men that were studied on every
Did you
possible study.
know that they only recently, like I want to say this year or last year or something, started testing like pads with actual
Mm-hmm.
menstrual blood and not just like water with red food coloring? Like they don't give a shit about women. We need to take like prioritize our health, what we put into our bodies, because that colonoscopy is coming up at
Yeah.
45. So like make sure you have your daily intake of everything that you need, like get
Yeah.
sleep, like it's so important. Take care of yourself. I feel like another big part of aging is, especially as women, is we tire out ourselves as caregivers,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't give an ounce of that care to ourselves. So it is important to like pour back into yourself.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup. Definitely. And I was just thinking too, it's like how 20s, 30s, I could go off of like 4 to 6 hours of sleep. Let me tell you, if I don't get 8 hours, I am cranky. So just listen to your body. Your body's always changing. It needs more. It needs more rest. As we get older, it just does, but it also needs more movement. So if you're at a position where you're just stagnant all the time, you're sitting all the time, or you're standing in one spot all the time, just like take those breaks, move your body.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of all the certifications, this one's Pilates certified, and there is, so much that Pilates helps with posture, with all of
Mm-hmm.
those things. I'm saying that, and I'm like, I want to sit up straighter now. Um, but yeah, like really, really focus and really put attention into, like, we only get this one body for this life.
Yeah.
So really, it's not a vanity thing. It's take care of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where to start, our Patreon is live.
Yeah.
And she posted a free video on YouTube talking about what is
Qigong,
Qigong.
which I'm like really in, like, I love Qigong because talk about aging. This is perfect for anyone aging in, like, you can do it a 20-year-old with an 80-year-old. It's an ancient Chinese practice. They just really had it figured out when they kind of created this, because it's something that you can do every single day. It doesn't matter what type of fitness level you're
Great for
at.
your joints.
So good for your joints. It's so
So
good
good for
for
circulation.
stress levels,
Mm-hmm.
sleeping, all of that, lowering blood pressure, heart rate, everything like that. It's really you being self aware and connecting to yourself, breathing, all of that. So, yeah, I'm excited to continue. Growing with that, and
Yeah.
then for sure we'll have so many other things coming your way with health, because
Mm-hmm.
of course it's also what you're putting into your body and consuming, and which we talked about that in the other episode. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, if you want to check out our Patreon, it's $5, five USD.
$5 and you get everything. And I mean, it's worth it just for that video of Chansey going to the vet here in Tobago, if you want to know what that's like. So
Yeah, so it's not just about health, so we're also touching about other topics
it's
that
our
we dare
adventures
to.
too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's really gonna be a lot. And again, it really, just like Let We Go There, it's really about community. It's really about having this place for resources that can help you, that you can then share with your friends, so that way you can have your little circles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not hoarding all this information to ourselves. We really just want to share it and pass it on and pass it forward.
Yeah, and make it accessible as possible, but make
Yeah,
sure we have some
that we can
money.
eat.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because we both have pretty healthy appetites.
Yeah, and I don't know when healthy became so expensive because it just, oh, that's a whole other topic. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But understanding like aging truly, truly, truly is a blessing. I obviously have said so many times I have the goal of so my great grandmother, who I feel like is definitely like my spirit. She lived to be 2 weeks shy of 103. So my goal is to reach 103,
You got this.
and have this be the last life on this planet in the human form. So that is, a big reason of why I actively just care for myself, mind, body, soul every day. Do I have days where I don't do it perfectly? Yeah, a lot of times because like I'm
Mm-hmm.
human, but it's always going back to that practice. What is good? What am I consuming? In my body? What am I consuming in my mind? What am I allowing into my circle? Into my energy. And again, like doing qigong is really good because you're balancing your energy, which the world is so unbalanced. So we this is a constant thing. It's not a one and done.
Yeah. The will is unbalanced, so you about to balance yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have everybody unstable like that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I love aging with you.
I love aging with you. And it's like, yeah, I want to grow older and like grayer and wiser and
Yeah. My
stronger and
mom
better.
my mom the other day was like, "Oh, I had to like scratch my hair." And she's like, "I see like some gray hairs. You want me to take it out?" I'm like, "It's all good. It's all good. I've come to terms with
It's
it."
that wisdom.
Sad wisdom, sometimes not stress, a
Yeah.
lot of it hereditary.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things into one, and it's a story of you.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to tell that story like pretentiously? Like, you are authentic when you just like embrace it.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said I saw myself as like, obviously don't have any human babies, but like as like that grandmother in the rocking chair telling the stories. And it's like, I've always felt that because of the whole old soul thing. So for me, aging is just catching up to what I already feel like on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in no rush. I appreciate, I think the genetics again, that's my great grandmother. I know I don't look my age, love that. But it's also not something that I am afraid of because that is
Mm-hmm.
a very big fear that a lot of people have, and specifically women. And we just don't want you to be afraid of it.
Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Yeah. And with
Thanks.
that,
Uh huh.
thanks for being here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Thanks
say.
for celebrating our birthdays on the same day. Like that'll probably never happen again. This is like monumental.
Yeah, this is
So
crazy.
yeah.
Ah!
Ah.
And we'll see you on the next one. And
Yeah.
on the next one, we'll have our another Q&A
Yeah.
on a Wednesday, on the Wednesday of that week.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then. Hopefully, you can make it and you join us so we can talk about it some more.
Yay.
Yeah, take
Take
care of
care.
yourselves.
Bye.
Bye.